Hello and welcome. My name is Melinda Herring, and I'm the Deputy Director of the Atlantic Council's Eurasia Center. Today, we've organized a discussion with two Christian pastors on the moral aspect of Russia's war in Ukraine. Vladimir Putin's war of choice means that thousands of children's grandmothers and ordinary people won't celebrate Christmas this year. It means that they will never have another birthday. It means that they won't see the first snow in Ukraine this winter. Bucha, Irpin, Mariupol, and now Izum. Sadly, these names are known around the world. Putin's troops committed unspeakable war crimes in these towns and cities. Make no mistake about it, this was not an aberration. Russian soldiers will continue to rape, pillage, and murder until they are stopped. Russia's war in Ukraine is immoral, and it must be condemned in the strongest of terms. I'm honored to welcome Gennadiy Mokhnenko, a pastor from Mariupol, Ukraine, to the Atlantic Council. Before the war began in earnest in February, Gennadiy used to run a large orphanage in Mariupol, and he is a pastor in the Assemblies of God denomination. Since Putin destroyed Mariupol, Gennadiy and his team have evacuated 7,000 people from the city. He and his team of 60 pastors and volunteers provide pastoral support to Ukrainian soldiers on the front lines and deliver food and goods to elderly people left behind. Before we begin, Gennadiy, I want to introduce Archbishop Boris Guziak, Archieparch of the Ukrainian Catholic Archeparchy of Philadelphia, a wonderful priest and a North Star and moral leader in Ukraine.
Brothers and sisters in the Lord, after visiting Ukraine 5 times since February and encountering refugees in Poland, Romania, Belgium, France, Italy, Canada, the United States, I want to thank all of you for your prayers for the people of Ukraine, for the manner in which you are keeping informed about the situation and informing others, and for your humanitarian aid. Maybe some of you have not heard about the details of the story, of the human experience of the millions of children, mothers, 14 million who have had to leave their homes, of the cities that are now being bombed by Iranian drones, about people huddling without electricity, food, and water, only because they want to be free, only because they want to preserve God-given dignity and justice. They are very grateful to Americans for their help and ask that you stand with them as they defend the Western world. This war needs to be won in Ukraine by Ukraine, so that it doesn't spread and doesn't become a contagion, an attack at democracy globally. Your closeness to the Lord and your closeness to them will bring you to a deep place of understanding, of solidarity. God bless you all.
Thank you so much, Bishop Boris. I hope you can join us next time. Gennadiy, welcome to the Atlantic Council. We're so happy to have you here.
Thank you. I hear about your organization many times, but biggest part of that was from Russian mass media. It's something not good.
So many Americans think of Vladimir Putin as a guy who promotes traditional values. Gennadiy, is that true?
I'm real angry when I hear about Christians who think Putin is pro-family, pro-Christian guy. He is the killer. He is like Hitler. He killed inside my city. I think nobody know, but between 80,000 to 100,000 people. He killed, biggest part of them was women and children and old people. He is the killer. He is KGB guy. He is the man completely unmoral. And when I hear about Some people in the United States, in Europe say, oh, he's pro-family. Oh, I can't hear this. It's like when somebody killed 100 people, and people will be, oh, he's pro-family guy. No.
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 So in the US, there's a lot of false information about the war in Ukraine. We're 5,000 miles away, right? There's a lot of opinions. Could you please help us set the record straight? What are you and your countrymen fighting for?
This is the battle not about land. It's not about gas. It's not about oil. This is about freedom. Mm-hmm. And more deeply point, this is about religion, spiritual freedom. Because Ukraine completely freedom country. We have first good example with freedom, former Soviet Union, and Russia don't have freedom, not mass media freedom, not political freedom, not religion freedom. Ukraine have completely. And now Mr. Putin wanna stop my freedom and back us to former Soviet Union. But our answer, never, never more, never back to USSR. I hate USSR from my teenager age. I love Russian people. I speak Russian language. This war not about language. It's not just ethnically conflict between Russian language and Ukrainian language. I speak Russian 54 years, and I never had one problem with language. It's not about language. This is really about freedom. And we will fight it. We will never give up and never back to Soviet prison.
Gennadiy, you're talking to a lot of Americans across the country today, and many of us are believers. Do you have a special message for American Christians?
It's not so easy for me. When I saw amazing, very rich, comfortable country, restaurants and hotels and everything, I asked myself, how it's possible for American people understand what's happening in Ukraine and what I think about it. I told them all of this is the fruit for freedom. Mm-hmm. This is the fruit. Many generations fighting for freedom inside this country. And all what you have here, this is the fruit. Now my country fighting about freedom. Maybe it's not easy to understand for people from United States, but this is my time. I like that American sentence, freedom is never free.
Yeah.
Now we pay the price, huge price, terrible price. 9 my sons on front line now, like soldier. 9 my sons, they're soldier. I call them every day, and very often I don't get connection. Yeah. And it's not so easy for me. Yeah. Some of my sons stay with me in front line like chaplains, like volunteers. We pay a huge price now. 2 my sons was wounded. Praise the Lord, everybody alive now.
We should probably explain to our audience, so you have 9 sons, but you have a big family. Why don't you tell our viewers about that?
I have strange family. Never follow me. I have 35 adopted children.
35?
35.
Okay.
And it's not good for, nobody can follow me.
How many vehicles do you have?
It's a little bit strange. I have 3 biological children and 35 adopted. It's not, biggest part of them was homeless before. Mm-hmm. Some of my adopted son was homeless from 5, some of them from 4. One of my adopted son was homeless from 2.5.
Okay.
He lived on the street. He can't speak, but he lived on the street. We have a little bit strange family. But right now, Russia came to my home, and they sleep inside my home. One of my last adopted son, he number 32. He calculated the months. We had little home many years, and but we start build new. And he calculate the months, the weeks, the days when he will move in his personal, amazing, brand new room, and he get it. But now Russian soldiers sleep there, and he is a refugee like all my family now split in around the world.
But you yourself and your team of 60 are serving on Ukraine's front lines. I'd love for you to tell us more about where you're serving and what you do from a day-to-day basis. Are you praying with your boys? Are you providing pastoral support? What are they worried about? What's the mood like on the front lines when you talk to these soldiers?
95% my time I stay in front line directly in zero. Every morning I have many chaplains team, and every morning we put our cars, humanitarian supplies, medicine, food, and something special for soldier, and food for old people, and we go to front line to the zero. We go to that place every day. Nobody go there. It's not possible. Not Red Cross, not United Nations, because this is real war. And we go on the shootings every day through huge risk. Just yesterday, too, my team was on the shooting. One of my sons sent me short movie when they jump on the basement, and they just bring food for very old people who lives there. And Russia starts shooting rockets, artillery, and they jump on the basement and sit there some hours. But we bring for thousands people, we bring them food, medicine. We evacuate many of them. We evacuate, just from Mariupol, we evacuate more than 7,000 people through Russian blockade.
Yeah.
Russia tries stop blockade people. All my drivers, they're the hero.
They're total.
Nobody
nerds.
know they are working with me, because if Russia will know who is there, they will kill them.
Can you remind our audience, the city of Mariupol is down in southeastern Ukraine. It had about 500,000 people before the war?
It's almost like Washington, D.C. And can you imagine if you was grow here, amazing city, beautiful, but no my city more.
What happened to it?
They destroyed all my city. 90% building was destroyed. They bombing, air bombing, 1,000 kilogram bombs, 3,000 kilogram. They destroyed building by building, street by street, district by district. No my city more. I was born there, I was grow there, 30 years I'm a pastor there, but no my city more. This is genocide. And when somebody talking about Putin's pro-Christian, pro-family, I'm real nervous about it. He is the Hitler. We call it Russism. Second World War, we stop fascism. But now we must stop Russism. I love Russian people. I'm ethnically Russian. But I hate empire, this empire spirit, the KGB. I hate Soviet Union. They killed people like game, like joke. It's crazy.
It is crazy. It's hard to believe. So when you're out on the front lines, you and your team are out on the front lines, I know you're praying with servicemen. What do they ask you for beyond prayer?
All soldier stay just one step, and they can be die.
Yeah.
Just some days ago, last Sunday, one of my friends was killed. Many of my friends was killed, but it was his birthday. He got 24 years old, and they killed him inside his birthday. He was a soldier. When he was teenager, he go with me to Crimea. We had amazing camp. children camp. My children calculate the months, weeks, and go to Crimea. We jump with him to waterfalls, and we swim, but they killed him in his birthday. All soldiers need talking with priests. All of them need ask something about the sense of this war, and they real need pray. They real need somebody who will talking with them.
Yeah.
And this is very important when pastor came to front line and stay with soldiers.
Absolutely, absolutely. So you said that Russia has no religious freedom and that Ukraine has lots of religious freedom.
Completely.
And you told me a story that was really interesting. I hope you'll tell again. You said that there was a pastor, a Russian Orthodox pastor, who was writing a Facebook post about Easter.
He was Baptist. If you will be Moscow Orthodox, not one problem.
Okay.
Completely freedom. But Moscow Orthodox Church, it's like branch from KGB system. But that friend of mine, he is Baptist. Can you imagine? This is just all what you need to know about freedom in Russia. Freedom like that. And he post on his Facebook page. He just post in his personal Facebook page. My congratulations with Easter.
Happy Easter.
Yeah, happy Easter and welcome to my church. Police came to his home and they give him ticket, 10,000 rubles. And they told him next time 300,000. Next time you will be in prison. Just because Baptist Christian post on his personal Facebook page, invite in church and happy Easter. What is that? They don't have freedom, mass media, political, religion. And they wanna stop freedom in my country because freedom is like infection and good infection, like good COVID. And, freedom, they are afraid. I'm sure after this war, when Ukraine will be freedom country, we will go freedom to Russia and Belarus. I'm sure about it.
You told me that after the victory, after Ukraine wins, that you have plans. You told me that you're going to preach the gospel in Russia. I'm expert about Russia. I finished round the world bicycle tour with my sons. Round the world, we did it. I'm just one man in history, so fat man, never so fat man finished round the world bicycle tour. I go on the bicycle through all Russia before war. We promote adoption. And we preach in hundreds church. We get hundreds mass media, TV. But now, after that, they came to my city and they start killed my children. They killed many my friends. They killed one of my daughter. She was inside my family from 10. Yeah.
She was an amazing girl.
What was her name?
I evacuate. Her name is Victoria.
Victoria.
I evacuate my youngest children from Mariupol. It was like competition. A soldier called me and say, Pastor, you have just 40 minutes for evacuate your orphanage. Just 40 minutes, not 42, not 45. And we evacuate children from Mariupol, and it was like competition between Russian tanks and my children's convoy. We was just a little bit quickly. Soldiers call me and say, Pastor, please push the gas more quickly because they are very close. And we jump outside of blockade. I evacuate my youngest children, but I can't evacuate all my adult children. And later we evacuate many of them, but they killed her. Her neighbors told me they just found the piece of her body. Just a piece of her body and just put on the little grave. They killed, unbelievable. They transformed my city. from amazing city nearly sea to cemetery.
What
It's
could-
not about pro-family, it's not about Christian. They're KGB empire, communist killers. And we must stop Russism like we stopped fascism 8 years ago.
Gennadiy, what can we do to honor Victoria's memory and the other 100,000 people who perished in Mariupol?
I was in New York some days ago, and I saw that place, September 11 Memorial. 3,000 something people was killed there. And I think how big memorial we must build in Mariupol after that. They shooting, can you imagine, in the central of the city we have theater, central circle, and on the basement of that theater was maybe 2,000 children with women was on the basement, like shelters. And huge letters, children.
Deity on both
Deity,
sides.
deity from both sides. Huge letters, you can see it from cosmos. But they sent huge air bomb, and they killed many of them. Nobody know how many, but they killed hundreds of children just in that place. Yeah.
So what do you say to Russian Orthodox priests who are still in tune with the Russian state? What's your message to them?
I love all people. I love all Christians. Doesn't matter. I have many friends, Catholics, Orthodox. But let me say true. Moscow Orthodox Church. This is the branch. This is the filial for KGB. The Mr. Patriarch Kirill, he's KGB guy from his childhood, from teenager time. He is Putin's colleague. And all their roles say yes, yes, God bless everything. Kill people, God bless you. Occupy, God bless you. This is not church. Church, this is about rule. This is about moral. This is about responsibility. But Moscow Orthodox, it's not church. This is something strange. I have amazing friend, Orthodox friend, Ukrainian and other country, but Moscow Orthodox, this is crazy KGB branch.
Do you want to challenge them?
They must, I hope, when freedom came to Russia, I hope Moscow Orthodox Church will be transformed. It will be not easy because almost all their bishops was growing Soviet time and in KGB system. But in Ukraine, now we have very good new generation Orthodox priests. They don't work with KGB. They're real priests. When president do something good, they say no, this is not good. This is the role of church.
Sure.
Yeah.
Super. So let's talk a little bit about the war as it's going right now. There's about 2 or 3 weeks before it gets very, very cold in Ukraine and winter sets in. Do you think that the Ukrainian counteroffensive, which has had a lot of success in the north, some in the south, some in the east, is it going to slow down, or how do you think things will play out between now and Christmas?
We have very cold winter in Ukraine.
Yes.
I'm not sure how cold it's here.
Much colder than Washington.
Yeah, but sometimes it's minus 20 Celsius. This is real cold. And this is a big challenge because now Mr. Killer Putin sent many rockets and destroyed all infrastructure. And now we are prepared for big challenge because this winter not will be easy. No, for soldier exactly, but also for civil people, because they destroyed electricity system, water system, and but our soldier go ahead everywhere. It's like it's something fantastic because all special service intelligence, your government was sure if Russia sent all army to Ukraine, they were sure Ukraine don't have chance. Maybe 2, 3, 5 days, and Ukraine will fall down. They called for my president and tell him we can evacuate you and your family. But he said, no, we will fight it. And Ukraine fighting from 8 months and very successful fighting. I was in last my minutes before this trip. I was in zero in front line in Russia. Russia sent some artillery for me and shooting from guns. Praise the Lord. I thanks for God and I thanks for Toyota Tacoma, because friend of mine sent me a very good car for frontline, Toyota Tacoma. And I pushed the gas and shooting, and very go shooting was around. And so many Russian soldiers was killed around that place when I was. I stayed near the car when Russian officer was killed. And many of them, you must close your doors. Today, 67,000 Russian soldiers was killed. I'm a priest. I love people. I don't want somebody killed. 1 week before 24th February, I post on my broadcast. It was like I told for like father for 38 children. I tell for mother from Russia. I told them, please, Russian mothers, wake up. Stop your president. Do something. Because if you don't stop him, your sons will be killed in Ukraine. We will fight him. We never give up. We will fight him. We will kill them. Please do something. Thousand people in Russia share that, but they don't do nothing. And I saw so many killed so many Russian boys, Russian men who was killed.
Yeah.
It's crazy. I closed my nose last minutes in front line some days ago because so many of them was killed. But
I'm glad you have a fast truck. I'm very glad you have a fast truck. So, like I said before, I know there's people all over the country watching our conversation, and they're going to ask, what do you need? What can we do to help? So these are ordinary people. You know, they can't send you attackums, right? They can't go on Amazon and order you a tank or an armored vehicle. So what can ordinary people do, Gennadiy?
Really, first of all, we need help, military help. We need help for weapons. We need more weapons for our soldiers. Let me remember something. My country was had number 3 nuclear arsenal 30 years ago.
Yeah.
When Soviet Union was destroyed, Ukraine had number 3 nuclear arsenal. And Russia, United States and England told for us, Ukraine, you don't need that weapons. Just give it for Russia and we will care about you. And we say, okay, it's a good idea. And we give them nuclear arsenal number 3, and they give for us a piece of paper. and they say, if somebody will touch Ukraine, we will stay with you. And later Russia occupied my country, part of my country, and start kill thousands people. We really need weapons now because we pay a huge price. Thanks for HIMARS. Yeah. Did you know what is the HIMARS? It's unbelievable American rocket system. We need artillery, we need tanks, we need, and exactly, we need money for go through this economic collapse because they destroyed all my country. Now we go through crazy challenge. And let me say big thanks for everybody, for all people from United States, from all world who stay with Ukraine through this crazy time.
Anything else you want to add?
God bless America, freedom country. And pray about my country. We pay huge price. One of my daughter called me some days ago, and she told me I will go to army. I don't grow them for war.
Yeah.
I don't grow them. We are a peaceful nation. We're never thinking about war can be reality. I want to just get my children, sit together. I have 37 grandchildren, and now all of them split around the world. We need victory. We need stop. They occupy all our lands. We need stop Russian intervention, and we will see how freedom go to Russia.
Gennadiy, we really enjoyed this conversation with you. You can count on our support. You can count on the United States. God bless
Thank
you.
you, Melinda.
God bless Ukraine.
Thank you.
Thank you so very much for joining us. It was a pleasure to spend the morning with you. Thank you.